What's the deal, my people? You know it is Don 20 Teflon. I'm back at you, another one. And this one is, we're talking from season 2, the ending. We're going to go over that. We're also going to talk about some of the behind-the-scenes stuff going on with the television show and everything else. I'd like to thank everybody who's here rocking with me. You know, I'm here every week for y'all, giving you that from content nobody else does, still rocking with it, you know. We'll have the, let me put all this stuff up here that we are supposed to have so y'all can see it. Where is all this stuff? Let's put that right there on there. All right, and the phone line will be open today. You will be able to call me up and speak to me and everything else and all that good stuff, man. So I appreciate you all coming out here, saying to people who actually still do. We've lost a tremendous amount of people on our streams, and we don't get that many. And I'm losing subscribers daily right now, but that is the part of the business. So I truly thank anyone who does become a member and signs up for the channel or anything else like that. Any super chats or anything like that, because I don't be making no money on these things, you know what I mean, like that. So I appreciate everyone who's rocking with me, you know what I mean. What up to Fred Grace? What up to She Does the Most in the building? Angie is rocking with us. Sonic, your boy, is up in here. Thank you so much for rocking with us and everything else. So let's talk real quick about from the strike is still going on. The strike is going on in Hollywood. And again, when we talk about the strike in Hollywood, we have to understand that it's not just one strike, it's two strikes, right? It's the actors who are striking and the screenwriters who are striking. So they have to solve both of those issues in order for this to work out, right? Not just one, but they need to solve two issues in order for that to work. So I don't know if it's going to be anytime soon. All the reports say that both sides got their heels dug in and they ain't going nowhere. So I do believe, you know, if you're looking at like a month it's going to be done, I don't think so. I think it's really, me personally, it's going to go into like next year. And it may go into next January, next February. So what does that mean? That means that shows are going to be delayed and you're not going to get shows on the time that frame that you think. Shows are being canceled, as Amazon already canceled The Peripheral because of they said there was no time to shoot it. By the time they would have shot it, it would have been way too far down the line for them, and it wouldn't have came out until, you know, late next year. So for that reason, even though they did say season 3 was a go, season 2 was a go, they still canceled it before shooting. I think you may see this happen to a bunch of shows that they have told you that season 2 is going to happen, but they're not going to do it, or the next season, I should say, and everything else. So will that happen to From? I don't think so, because I think that the difference between this and From is that From is the #1 show on MGM. It's the best show they got. Basically the Game of Thrones of MGM. So it doesn't really matter how long it takes. I think they're always going to come back with it. But now, again, we don't know about the Canadian situation, if they're part of that strike or anything else, or if these Canadian actors can actually shoot their scenes. If that's the case, we know Harold's not shooting. He's not doing it. But the Canadian actors, you know, most of the cast is Canadian. It's shot in Canada. We know that House of the Dragon is being filmed now, and they're not affected by the strike because they're British actors, right? Most of them in there. So they're fine. They can still do their thing. So when it comes down to it, can they shoot this show without Harold? Can they shoot the scenes that they need to shoot that Harold isn't in them and get all that done, and then come back and make it like a reshoot situation when Harold comes back and just put Harold's scenes in there? Now, Harold gets the most screen time out of everybody. So it's not going to be easy. It's not like you come back and it's going to take, you know, but it's going to take a day or so just to shoot his quick scenes. It's going to be a lot of scenes you're going to have to shoot with Harold, right? So it's weird. I could see them trying to do it, especially certain scenes, like say Jade is in the tunnels, right? It's just Jade in the tunnels. And this is the case that they can film because they're Canadian. They could do a scene like that with Jade in the tunnels. They could do that whole scene down there, you know, him continuing and to have the kids down there and everything else. If you have Tabitha in the hospital and all the Tabitha hospital scenes, he's not going to be a part of those things that I know of. So they could probably do all those scenes and get all that stuff shot. You know, you could probably do the scenes with anything dealing with Donna in Colony House with Ellis and Fatima and all those scenes that he wouldn't be in. I think they could get all those scenes shot already, get those things done, and then when Boyd comes, just piece in all the Boyd stuff. Now these are all professional actors, so it's not going to be hard for them to pick up and just act like you know what I mean and everything else. But I think that may be the route that they go with this show. And that's the only way, if they go that route, that you're going to get the show released on the time that you want it to be released at. You know what I mean? If not, I could see the show getting pushed back to next September, next October, or the end of the summer, which would be fall, which would be September, October. I could see it getting pushed back to that far back. Easily. I could see this show getting pushed back. And, I'd be very disappointed. Again, if you're a Game of Thrones fan, or this is nothing new to you. Like it took them 2 years, sometimes 3 years to do one episode, one season, right? Waiting 2-3 years for an episode, for a whole season to come out. So if you're a Game of Thrones fan, you're used to that stuff. But for shows like this, you would think they would be able to get these shows out a lot faster, and probably the fan base expects them to be out a lot faster than they actually are and stuff. So that's what it would be when it's all said and done with the strike. With the strike, again, from what I'm seeing and what I've read about it and everything else, there's no end in sight, none right now. I'm sorry, you see me. I don't got my normal beverage. I'm over here drinking water because we in the gym. We can't be drinking alcohol and stuff like that. I gotta stop drinking alcohol during stream. Maybe one stream here and there I can do it, but I can't be doing it because it affects my working out and stuff. So I can't do it. I would say live streams are very conducive to drinking. And so most of the times that I do drink, it's when I'm streaming. So that is the problem with me with streaming. That's what it is. All right, let's get started. PF is saying that most shows will not come back until 2025. It's a good chance. I could see that. Yurto says, I have a fear that the longer they delay it, the main fans will move on and will never get answers. I don't know if the main fans will move on. The fair weather fans may move on. And again, Game of Thrones would go off the air for 2 years before they would do a season, and all those fans came back. I can easily see how it, when you as a YouTuber, how the numbers would go away. Like right now, let's look at From right now. Let's take it. I'm doing a live stream from right now. Look at the people that we have in here right now, right? Not as much as when the show was out. Last show, I did over 1,000 people live, right? I was doing 1,000 people, but I was averaging about 600 to 700 lives every live stream when the show was on. You know what I mean? Now, nowhere close to that right now, right? You know what I mean? So it's just that's just when the show was out there. There are people that are just come just for the show, and when the show is going, a lot of people leave and stuff like that. Luna says that I hoping that the Winter King won't push from the number one spot. The Winter King cast are also Brit. It's no way it's going to be anything. The show is truly not that good from what I've seen. I've watched the first couple of episodes, and it's nowhere close to being anything like From. So I don't see it. Also, there's controversy in it. People and their whole woke situation with Merlin being black. I think that'll hold the show back too, and everything else. So I just don't see it being a smash hit. The Winter King. See it one season and done. In all honesty. What up to Carla Way? Truly appreciate you being here. What up to Nisha? And I'm glad you are always here. Thank you. Betrayed King says From is special, not worried. Yeah, it is. It's got its own place right now. So I wouldn't worry about it ever being canceled. Again, it's their most popular show ever of all time on MGM Plus, on MGM. So I don't think that show's going anywhere. They'll wait it out as long as they have to wait it out to get that show out there. So I think we should be fine for the From and everything else. Betrayed King says Godfather in Harlem was nice, but it was done. It was really good. I love Godfather of Harlem. I didn't like the recasting of Malcolm X for the last season. Didn't like that, but everything else was beyond that. I thought it was really good and everything else. Piano Key Joe says, I was not expecting this stream today on my birthday. Well, let me say to you, happy birthday. May you live as long as you want and never want as long as you live. Cheers. We got here. From needs to step it up in season 3. Agreed. I just did a whole rant video stream on it and everything else. So I agree with that. Let's go down. Fred Grace is saying, what's going on with All right. So it's not from Con. It's not the name using. All right. The name I am using from it is TV Fan Fandom. All right. That is the Con. TV Fan Fandom. And we'll be doing other shows besides from on that thing. So this is the bottom line. And I'll tell you what it is. It's going to cost me in excess of $15,000 to do this con correctly. All right. That's the bottom line. The numbers have been crushed. The places have been the places. And that is paying for actors to show up, paying for the actors' flights to get them out here, putting the actors up. There are some actors who want money straight up, just for showing up. They don't want just autograph money. They want money, which is reasonable for them to ask. A lot of actors do ask this, right? And everything else. So that's not something that they're being greedy or anything like that. That is something that actors do be asking for. Some are understanding and saying that it's all good. Don't worry. When you get bigger, we'll talk. We'll revisit the situation. And I tell them straight up, I appreciate that. But that's what it is. So it's over $15,000 now. So now comes down to the point of this actor strike. Now it would be done right now already. If this actor strike is what's holding things up, I need to know if these actors can actually show up and promote this show. Right now, all American actors cannot promote any show that they're on or movie. They can do no production or promotion or anything about it. That's a part of the strike. So therefore, can I put this money up for these people to come and then they don't show? Because of the strike is still going on, now I'm stuck. Now, if these people don't show up, I can't promote them, or they say they can't promote the show. I can't put them on the website and say, come join me and these people to go watch, to be in panels with them. So then it comes down, will people just show up if those actors aren't there, right? And for me, I would have to say, I don't think people will. I don't think if it's just me, and I could probably get a couple of other YouTubers to show up there too, but it's me, let's just say me, Phil, LMR, and some other YouTubers. I don't think I'm going to draw enough money to even come close to breaking even come close, without having the star power backing it, right? I need to have them there. So as far as that, I can't pull the trigger on anything until I get a confirmation from these stars. Look, the bottom line is this. Look, as I said, I was doing 600 something people when the show, over 1,000 people during some streams where the show was going on. Right now, we're not even at 100. Right, so that means people were about it. Yeah, when the show was going on, yeah, I'll pre-order the ticket. I pre-order the ticket. Now I say pre-order the ticket. Who's actually going to pre-order the ticket? All right, let's just say there's 60 people in here right now. Let's say 20 of them do pre-order a ticket. That's nowhere near the over $15,000 I'm gonna have to spend to do this whole thing. So I could take a hit for like 12, 13 G's. So in all honesty, could I afford to take that hit? It's not gonna kill me. It ain't gonna be good. It ain't gonna be good. I mean, I would survive. It would be a rough situation, but I'm very financial savvy and I know how to move things around to the point where I would survive in the end. But can I really risk it to do that right now? And to me, the answer is no. I can't risk it. I can't do it. Again, as long as I'm getting paid on this YouTube thing, I'm not. If I was one of these YouTubers who was working full time on YouTube and I was making thousands of dollars on YouTube, and even these people who make thousands of dollars, $30,000, $40,000 a month on YouTube. Look at the giveaways they give away. They give you like a $5 thing, a $10 thing, right? Again, it's just what it is. And I appreciate Fred Grace saying he's going to pre-order, but just you doing it, my brother, is just not enough. You know what I mean? I would need, in order for this for me to actually know, I would need easily, and this is easily, I would need 150 or more pre-orders. Easily, I would need that. I would need to see at least 150. I know we crunched all the numbers, so I got someone working on it with me. It's not just me. I got people and everything else working with me and all this other stuff. So it's just, I would need at least 150 or more people to pre-order tickets just to make it seem like I'm going to do it, to come close to breaking even, right? And at this particular time, I just don't think I have a big enough fandom to do it. Now, listen, as Vanessa is saying, yeah, can you do something? In New York is going to be more expensive than Nashville, right? It's not, the place is not the case. You know what I mean? It just would come down, if you would, like, if I just said, hey, I'm out here in upstate New York, why don't y'all just come up to the casino in upstate New York? There's one in Saratoga, there's one out in Schenectady, there's a Turning Stone casino. And I said, we all just, I get a room, like, one of those private rooms, a small room or something in there. And then we all just hang out and drink. And then at the room, I could go there and I could talk to y'all, I could easily do that for a couple of $1,000s. I could easily do that. That's not a problem. But when I'm talking about doing this convention, it's going to cost you over $15,000 to do, then it's a different situation and everything else. Will Spears saying that I think you can sell 100, not pre-ordered. And I think that if the show was going on and I could say that I had, Scott McCord showing up and I had Donna showing up and I had, all these other people showing up, then I believe that I could too. Yes. But not if I have no idea that they're allowed to promote the show and not due to the strike. Because if they're a part of the strike, then they're not going to be able to do it. And they can't, so I can't use their image or likeness on anything. Right. So that would be it and everything else. So that's where it's at right now. I need confidence. I need the strike to end before I can commit to coming out of my pocket and doing anything like that and everything. I need it to end. Again, what if the show doesn't even come out next year? And I got the con scheduled for next year and the show's not even coming out. Are people really going to want to come to that 2 years before they see another episode? Are they really going to want to show up to that convention for that? I don't know. I mean, this is not Game of Thrones. Game of Thrones is a massive fandom of book readers, right? Before it had any type of show buzz. It was book fans, insane book fans, right? That wait 7-8 years for a book. It's a different fandom than the show From. From's not there yet. The Walking Dead is a massive fandom from comic book fans. From's not there yet. It only has 2 seasons. You know what I mean? So that's where it's at and everything else. You know what I mean? So that is the problem and everything else with it. So it would just take, I can't just drop the dough on it. And I've already dropped dough on it. Though I've already spent money, thousands of dollars right now behind the scenes, right? And I said I had the first FromCon when I was calling it that. I had that whole website designed. Done. It was all done. The full website was designed. Everything was up and everything else. And I already told you about what happened with Amazon and all of them. So we're not going to rehash that and everything else. We did all that. So that is where that is at. You know what I mean? That is what it is. Vanessa, how about a From get together? I would pay an event. I could do a get together if knowing that if it's like we were going to do a Teflon Con before during COVID. We were going to do a Teflon Con where we're just going to get together. If anyone wanted to do something like that, you know what I mean? I would easily can work something out like that easily. You know what I mean? But let's say other people who are planning on coming to this convention from overseas, they're not going to come just for that. It's not worth it for them, right? It has to be something bigger. You know what I'm saying? It has to be something much bigger, and that's what it comes down to. And I have to give them more of an experience than just showing up in a room and there's a couple of balloons and some streamers and it says "Welcome." That's not the Don's way. I couldn't do that. Eric C, thank you for the super chat. There's not a man alive that could beat Canelo. We'll see in a couple of weeks. We'll see in a couple of weeks. I also think he loses to Terrence Crawford. I don't think he'll beat Terrence Crawford at 168. I think he'll lose to Terrence Crawford. I think he definitely lose at 160. That's why he won't do it. But I don't even think he beat Terrence Crawford at 160. Not even that at all. You know, and I don't see it in everything else. You know what I'm saying? I just can't. I got to bring that. I can't. I got to wear the Don rolls, man. If I can't do it first class, then I don't want to do it. And that's just the way it is. That's just who I am. And that's just the way it goes. So I have no problem doing it. Even if it was like I lost $1,000, even $2,000, that would be fine. That would be fine. But to take a $10,000 loss or more is not okay with me. That's just not good business. It's just not good business. And again, so it's not, I can't have a place that's going to hold 250 people and 30 people show up. That looks terrible. You understand what I'm saying? So it just comes down to I need this strike to go out so I can get a firm committal from these actors that they're definitely going to be able to come to it. That's where it will go. Eric C says, my girlfriend and I would love to go to FromCon. It's not FromCon. It is TV fan fandom. Right? TV fan fandom. And we're just doing all different TV shows. From one of the TV shows will be celebrating, but there'll be other things in there, other TV shows in there too. Again, I had an actress from Stranger Things that said she was willing to come and everything. That's someone I had to pay cash to get to show up and everything else too, you know. But I will do other shows that I cover on Teflon TV. We'll try to get some of them. I know I am covering right now Invasion. Doesn't seem like a lot of people are liking Invasion or even watching the videos. It's a pretty good show, but I will say this right now. And I'm going to tell you, my next show I'm going to be covering starting next week is called The Changeling, right? And it's on Apple TV. And I'm telling you, trust me on this one. Number one, you need to have Apple TV, right? You need to have Apple TV. It's only $4 a month. There's no excuse not to have Apple TV, and they have great content on it, right? So in Apple TV, you don't need the box to have it. You can just put the app on your Roku, and that's it. Before you used to have the box. You don't need the box. All right. Now, The Changeling is this show could be the next Lovecraft Country. Like it could be that. It could be as good as Lovecraft Country was. So if you like Lovecraft Country and you like From, this is going to be the show that you're going to want to watch. It's called The Changeling. You know what I mean? It's definitely worth it. Invasion, I like the show and everything else, but the show is very slow. It's not a fast-paced show. It's a lot of talking, a lot of dialogue without a lot of action in the show. So I could see why a lot of people wouldn't like this show. I said in my last review that they need to step the action up. They really do. They need to step the game up and everything else. So The Changeling, you want me to sum up in I'll play the trailer for you. Because I'm not monetizing this video, so because it doesn't make no sense because I'm not getting paid on it anyway. I'll play it for you right now, The Changeling. All right. I'm gonna do a video on it tomorrow. I have the Changeling, the trailer breakdown tomorrow. But I'll do this for you right now. Here you go.
You don't see, but you will. You don't see, but you will.
The reason I said no to you when you first asked me out.
Do you want to go to dinner with me?
And the 6 times after that.
Hey, no.
Is because I'm moving to Brazil.
Will somebody wear me to the fair?
When I got there, there was a lake there, a lagoon.
In her head.
They told me not to go, but I didn't listen. She told me I had 3 wishes. When it falls off my wrist, those 3 wishes will come true. Do not cut it.
Emma, with me, all 3 of your wishes will come true.
Don't know why.
Would you even know
There's no sun up in the sky.
if you crossed into a fairy tale?
Stormy weather.
A storm is coming. There are portals in this world that we may never know we've trespassed through.
Life is bad. Gloom and misery everywhere. Stormy weather.
I need to know where my wife is.
Just can't get myself.
People don't just disappear. Witches.
You don't see, but you will.
So that is the Changeling. That will be the show that my next review will be. So definitely, I'm telling you, it's a good show. I don't just review shows to get the views. And probably I should, but I review shows because I like them. And this show, I'm telling you, is going to be a really good show. Whether it gets the viewership or not, we'll see. Again, all you From people who wanted witches to be in From, here's your witches. You got all your witches. And whoever just sent that thing saying they finally caught a stream from Scotland, thank you very much, brother. Let me go out. Oh, Sullivan's right here. Thank you so much, bro. I truly appreciate it. Truly appreciate it. But yeah, that is on Apple TV. It starts next week, right? And everything else. She said not to cut it, right? And everything else is. So I'll be starting my videos. I'll have them out as soon as they drop, and I'll do a video, and hopefully I can do live streams on it and everything else, So hopefully y'all come in there with me and watch this show with me, man. I need the support, man. I'm being honest. I need the support. Man. If you want me to do the things that I would like to do, all I need is support. You know what I mean? I need subscribers. I get subscribers, and I get all the money, and I get all that good stuff, and people are members and everything else, and all my subscribers donate $1, and then that adds up to a good amount of money where I can just not even have to do a job, and I can just do YouTube. I swear to you, and I swear to you this, I am not like these other people who are on this platform. I will not just pocket the money and just live. I'll live a good life like I always do, but I will do shit like conventions, and I will put the money back. I promise you, I will pay it forward. That's just who I am and everything else. Again, if you ask anybody about me or anything I've done, you would see the stuff that I've given away. And I mean, I gave away an Oculus Quest 2. I didn't just give away one. I gave away 2 Oculus Quest 2. Now, for someone on my channel to give away 2 Oculus, who my level is going to come out of their own pocket and give away 2 Oculus Quest 2 besides me? There's people out here who have given away, who have millions of subscribers and give you, don't even want to give you a subscription membership for a month is all you'll get. I was going to give away, if I hit 100,000 subscribers, right? My plan was to give away a one wheel. You know what a one wheel is? You're welcome, Betrayed King. I have no problem. You know what a one wheel is? I wanted to give away a one wheel because I wanted one, but I didn't know if I wanted to actually drive one. So I was going to say, let me just give one of my members a one wheel. And I was going to, when I hit 100,000, I was going to give that away and everything else. You know what I mean? That is who I am, and that's what it always will be here. I promise you that. So I want to do everything. I want to do everything, and I want to get it all popping. I want to do things for you, but I got to get there, and I'm trying my best to get there. You know what I mean? So just keep supporting the channel, man. Liking the videos is a must. You know what I mean? You got to get it in the algorithm. You got to get that video and that stuff. All the stuff I do. That's why I'm doing that show with Phil every Monday. Box office weekly, giving the box office numbers, because I need a consistent show that I could do every week that can draw money no matter what show is out. So if you can, go watch that live stream. You know what I mean? Watch that live stream. Come watch that live stream that I do with Phil. Help that stream go up. You know what I mean? Because if I can get that in the algorithm and get that there, and we can get that big, then we'll be good to go. And that's what it is. But yeah, it's Changeling. Next show that we're doing on Teflon TV starts next week. Can't wait to do it and everything else. And I'm glad that and you guys like the trailer. I will have a full trailer breakdown on it tomorrow. Oh no, I can't do it tomorrow. Tomorrow is a big day. I have a fantasy football thing I have to do, a draft. I have to go to the gym, and I got to go back to work. So I'll be so busy tomorrow. So Friday, let's say I do that video on Friday. I'll drop that video Friday. And then I'm going to try on my Sunday, right? I just can't do it Sunday because it's always football. So it's going to have to be Saturdays. I'm going to have to try to do maybe 3 videos on a Saturday that I could spread out during the week on From and stuff. So I always will have From content and everything else. But yeah, the Changeling. Hopefully y'all liked it, and you watch it, man, and everything else. And again, if you want to see me do things, have conventions and do things like that, then only way I can make it happen is with y'all. Y'all gotta help me, and that's it, man. That's how you help me. Whether you're a member, you become a member, and you just pay whatever. What is it? $3 for a member? I don't know what it is for the membership or whatever. Just watch. Even if you can't become a member, you just watch the video and like the video. That's really all it takes. It's need people to get that. You know what I mean? To watch the video and like the video. If you could do that and everything else, that's just what it's gonna be. I'll pop. Eventually it'll pop. You know what I mean? Hopefully the show I'm doing with Phil pops. I really need, if that pops, then we off to the races. You know what I mean? We'll see. But it takes a little bit and everything else. I think we got like 1,000 views for the first stream. It's not bad. Then we got like 1,200 views all together. That's not bad. It's not a lot, but it's not bad. So we'll just keep it going and we'll see what happens. You know what I mean? We'll just keep going and just build it. I ain't afraid to build from the bottom up. Again, if people don't know who I am and everything else, I'm the first person who ever streamed Game of Thrones on all of YouTube. And that's a fact. The first one. And I mean, you're like, oh, listen, the first one. That means no one did it before me. No one did a live stream about Game of Thrones before I did it on all of YouTube. You can go back and you can look at my videos and you can check any video, anyone who did it. They all did it after me. So when you see all these people, whether you see it, History of Westeros, David Lightbringer, Gray Area, anyone that you think of that's done a live stream, Alt Shift X, all these dudes, they've all done it after me. They all watched me and they all did it after me. No one did it before me. That was who I was. You know what I mean? And that's just the way it goes. So that's what it is. So we always try to get things going and we always try to push things out there and all that stuff. And that's just what it is. So we'll always try to do good. All right, let's get back to From. I'm sure that's what y'all want to hear to talk about and everything else. So I guess to release the video, let me get the phone line open just in case somebody does want to call in. All right, that's that. Phone line is now open. In case somebody does want to, if you want to call in and ask me a question, You see the phone is right there, that on the crawl, the phone number. Call in right now. You know what I mean? You can call in. And the number is 518-290-0848. 518-290-0848. If you want to call in and ask me a question, I would appreciate it if you do. It makes everything better. It makes everything better if you do that, you know. So definitely do that if you want. We'll be here. I'll be here for it. You know what I'm saying? So yeah, that's what it is. So dealing with from. Let's talk a little bit about from. I know that's what everyone wants to talk about. I got the wrong background on this thing right now. I'm gonna leave the background up. Let me just go full screen so that you can't see it. All right, there we go. All right. Let's go through from real quick and everything else. I just dropped a video about the ending of from, trying to explain everyone exactly what was going on and the clues that were left that pointed to Tabitha being inside of the hospital. So go check out that video if you want to know exactly why that is. But there definitely was evidence that pointed to the fact that Tabitha would be in the hospital when it was all said and done. First, evidence was right from her dream, her first dream that she was given. Now remember, when she was given this dream, the real question should be, and this would be the real question about that. I think the questions that no one's asking that I could, make a video about, and I'll put this out there, and probably other people watching that probably will jump on it and try to do a video before I can get to it. But the real question that should be asked is, who is giving them these dreams? Right? Who is that person that's doing that? Who is the person that's putting these images in all of these people's heads? We keep seeing a lot of people go with have all these things, but what's going on? You know what I mean? Where are all of these people who are giving the dreams? Who's the one doing it? Right now, people say, do you think the boy in white might be the doctor? That is very interesting concept, that the boy in white could be the doctor in the whole situation, right? It could be a situation like that. I agree. It may be. Now we know the boy in white isn't a boy. But I had the pick of it. I wouldn't say that he was a doctor. Now listen, it's quite possibly he could be. We've seen it already being done, right? And you're saying, when did we see this, Tony Teflon? You're just making shit up. Or no, we did. We've seen this be done. Two people be in one person be in two different spots. We've seen this in the show. When Julie was screaming like a maniac, she was doing all that. And the actress did a very good ugly scream face for such a pretty little girl. She had such a great ugly scream face. But when she was screaming there, when Boyd went inside the place, she was chained up against the wall. Right? Same goes for the bootleg Chris Evans and the crackhead chick. Right? Same goes for them. They were all, their physical body was somewhere else, but somehow they were inside that place too. So could the boy in white just be a projection into that world from the doctor who's in there with Tabitha? Could that be the case? We also we know that she said that Sarah said that she didn't think it was a boy. She didn't think the boy in white was a boy, she said, when she heard it, right? So I would say it's a possibility. That I would not poo-poo it and just say that's not the case. I would say it was definitely a possibility that could be the case for the reasons that I just laid out for you right now. White boy Nick says they said he doesn't know how to help. Now, again, we're looking at unreliable narrators and a lot. And who said, so we don't know. The bottom line is they're being kept there by people. I think the boy in white is the main villain in this situation. I think he's turned that way. I think that the boy in white was one of the children who was being sacrificed and escaped from the experiment and is now out there doing what he's doing. That's what I think. You know, maybe he's getting even with people for doing all the bad things they did to those children. Because you see with those children, children are dirty, they're dingy, their clothes are shitty, they had bandages on their head, they're all being like in a hypnotic trance with that Okui thing, right? They're all hypnotized by it. And when I listen to that Okui thing, it makes me think of Hodor. You know, if you ever watch Game of Thrones, it makes me think of Hodor, or him just saying Hodor. And then there's a meaning behind him saying Hodor, right? So I think Okui could be a situation like Hodor. Like it could be them saying something else. You know what I mean? But it's coming out as Okui, but it means something else. You know what I'm saying? I think it could be a possibility of something like that going on. Question is, can you give your theory on the show's title name? Similar to Lost, it must have a deeper meaning, like they were lost at sea, but also lost in their life. What does from mean? It's very hard to do that. And if you can, then you'll figure out exactly what the show is. But I think, me personally, from meaning they're all from different spots and they all wound it up here, and the people that are holding them are from a different planet. That's what I believe from means. Those two meanings. Especially you gave two for Lost. Those are the two I would give for this show. They're all from different areas of the United States and brought here, and the people who are holding them are from a different planet. That is what I believe is, because there's no doubt that this is definitely dealing with aliens, and that's just what's going on and everything else. Chris Black is a comedian. Chris Black is a comedian. And I want to put this up here for you people real quick. Let you know this real quick. Oh, where is it? Real quick. Oh, it's not saying it here. It's not saying it. I have to find where it did say it. Here we go. So I have said it to you many a times. Listen, I'm going to. So let's put your comment up here. I'm a stay gold 42. Totally not aliens. All right. To prove you wrong, real quick, and I'm not just singling you out. There's many people who feel the same way, like you do. It is aliens. All right. Again, the show is called the sci-fi horror. That's what it's called. We've seen the horror, but yet we've yet to see sci-fi. This is not a magical show with magical people in it. And I know people who say there's fairies and things like that in the show, it wouldn't be classified that. All right. And all the people who say, oh, they're only doing it just to do it, that's just not what it is. Let me show you right now, right? Right now, the changeling, right? Let me show you what it says here about this show. All right. So right here, the Changeling, according to two sources, is a horror fantasy. Right? The Changeling, the Changeling is an upcoming horror fantasy television series. Right? That is what it is. It's a horror fantasy. So if you're talking about the Changeling being fairies or things of that nature being in it, witches, as you heard them say inside of the trailer, that's what it would be deemed. It would be called a horror fantasy, just like this show is called a horror fantasy. But if you look up from, it says horror sci-fi. See what I'm saying? Horror sci-fi. That is it. That's it. It would be horror fantasy if it was all those other things that y'all wanted it to be, that it's not. But it's not called a horror fantasy. It's a horror sci-fi. There's a difference. And that's just what it is. That's just the way it goes. And anyone who says that, oh, if it was aliens, it would just be too simple, then let it be too simple. Regardless, usually simple is what it is. It's all about how they do it. Invasion is about aliens invading Earth. Is that too simple? Do the aliens have to be witches all of a sudden to make it better? Not at all. It's all about how it's presented. That's just like saying if you watch Game of Thrones and everything else there, and it's always, or any of these Viking shows, it's always the Saxons versus the Anglos and the Germans, and it's always the same story. That doesn't make it too simple. It's just too simple when you don't want it to be that way. When you want it to be something else, then all of a sudden now the alien thing is too simple. They haven't given anything away with the aliens, or it wouldn't be too simple. No one else is thought that it was aliens or anything like that. Right? It wouldn't be that. And you don't know how the aliens are being presented in this situation. Again, as I said, I think that the aliens are being held hostage by humans, and humans are using their technology and experimenting on other humans with it. That's not simple. That's something that no one has really done before. Right? That's a show that would explain. You could bring the alien stuff in it, and they haven't done that. So that's what it means. Does sci-fi mean aliens? No, sci-fi doesn't mean aliens specifically, but aliens are associated with sci-fi more than fairies, which aren't associated with sci-fi, right? So sci-fi could mean technology, but usually when you have sci-fi, it does delve into outer space and has something to do with outer space. Star Trek, sci-fi. Go through all the sci-fi shows. Usually it had some type of technology based in it. And that's why I think it's humans who have caught an alien technology and is using their wormhole technology and everything else to do it. The girl came, y'all are fans, y'all watched her, Hannah, come on the show. She clearly said in the interview that Boyd had alien parasites in his body. She said it. You heard those words come out of her mouth. But yet y'all don't want to believe it. Like you just don't want to believe it. And I don't understand. What more do they have to do? That is just what it is. Listen, right? I'm a state gold. This is what you can do. I'm not gonna. This is easy. You can do this. There's a telephone number right down here, right now, right? 518-290-0848. You can call in right now and you can ask me these things. if you want to say I'm moving the goalposts. I'm not moving the goalposts. My theory video's there. It's been there. And I've been saying this the whole time. You know what I mean? And we go through, let's go through here right here. Your toast, who put up a whole bunch. X-Files, aliens. Sliders, aliens. Quantum Leap, more technology. Star Trek, aliens. The hidden alien route is simple nowadays, not fighting, just wish it was less predictable. I understand what you're saying, but usually when you put these shows out there and everything else, you see it's some form of alien technology or technology. That is what it is. You know what I'm saying? That's what it is. So if you want to know exactly how I feel alien technology and everything else, go watch my video that it's all Jade's fault. I put a video out there. It's all Jade's fault out there. And I said that Jade's quantum computer company algorithm led to them being able to create a wormhole. And when they used that wormhole technology, they were able to apprehend an alien flying saucer or aliens themselves. And they've been running experiments with this alien technology, alien biology, and everything else. She said Boyd had alien parasites in his body. That's what she said. Now listen, you want y'all really stretching it. Now, aren't all parasites alien to the human body? All right. Are you really want to say something crazy like that? I mean, seriously? All parasites are alien to you want to say all alien because they're not inside the human body. So they're all alien to the human body. Do you really think that's what she meant? If you take I mean you could take you want to go through that stupidness, then you could just say that I don't mean to sound like that, but you could say that water is alien to the human body. You could say that milk is alien to the human body. You could say that apple juice is alien to the human body because the body doesn't produce apple juice. So you're saying that anything that's not produced by the human body is alien? So it would be anything that you put in the human body then is alien. That's not what she meant, man. Come on. Let's be real here. You gotta. I'm willing to accept arguments if they come with some type of reality in it. I'm just saying you got some reality in it. That's what I'm saying. She did not mean it like, oh, it's an alien bacteria because it was on the planet, but doesn't come from the human body. So all of a sudden, that's what she meant. She didn't mean anything like that. She said extraterrestrial was, what did she say the exact word? Did she say extraterrestrial? Because she didn't say alien. I do believe she said extraterrestrial worms. I have to go back and look at it and see what it is and everything else. I would have to go back to look at it. But I do believe she said, use the word extraterrestrial. I have to go back. But I think that's what she said. But Hayden, I don't think you're spitting facts. I think that you're just putting stuff up there. But she specifically said extraterrestrial. All right. Now, in your argument, if you want to use alien organism, no one uses the word extraterrestrial to describe this. She used the word extraterrestrial. Right? That's what she did. And we're talking about who that was the actress from the show who said it on my channel. So extraterrestrial is what was done. That's right. You're 100% right. And again, you don't have to go with me. I've already asked an expert on this. Already done it.
We have all sorts of stories, mythologies, legends that could be interpreted as gods, who in reality were misinterpreted extraterrestrials.
That's what it is. And I believe him. He knows what to say. No, you can joke. It's fine. Don't take what I'm saying or me talking in this way. This is just how I talk. I'm not saying it meaning to belittle anyone or anything like that. And if it's coming out that way, I'm sorry. That's just the way I talk. I'm from Queens, New York, so I get animated about things, right? This is what it is. So don't take it. I will have no problem whatsoever dealing with any. I could be wrong. It may not be. I think it is. I think we've seen proof that it is. But in the end, I could be wrong. It may not be. We'll see. And if I'm wrong, I'll eat that chip. But from everything they've shown, it has to deal with aliens. It does. It's just, I know people don't like it in the end, but it does. I'm telling you. That's what it's going to be. That's what it's going to be. If you're going to be mad about it, listen, people were mad that Daenerys went crazy and started burning people and Jon Snow killed her. People were mad about that. You know why? Because people wanted Jon Snow and Dany to get together and have babies and kill Cersei Lannister and Jaime and sit on the Iron Throne and have people wanted that. That's not what you got. And then what happened when they didn't get that? People lost their mind. Oh my God, I can't believe they did that to Dany. They did Dany so dirty. Why would they do that to Dany? Right? And everything else. That's just what it is. You're never going to be, people aren't going to be, it's only one ending that I think everyone was happening with, and that was 6 Feet Under. That's the only ending I've seen people say they didn't like the Breaking Bad ending. And they said, how did that gun hit everybody so perfectly? And they nitpicked that, right? I know people who didn't like the Better Call Saul end, right? People seen that said that was too predictable. And I predicted that he would go to jail. I said that myself. That's how I was going to end for him. And it happened. The Dexter ending, twice everyone hated, right? And then the people who made the show said before, this is the greatest ending they could have ever thought of. So it's never going to please a lot of people. You know what I mean? You know, and that's what it is. I mean, Jackie C, I hear, listen, she said, sorry, Tony, but people hated God ending because it sucked the whole season, everything about it. Listen, there are some people who actually liked the ending, though. You know, there were many people who liked it. You know what I mean? Drunk Bishop says right here, The Sopranos ending, people hated that. It just turned black. Everyone hated it. The Wire, the ending, I thought was whack. I thought they could have did a better ending for The Wire. You know, but I didn't like The Wire ending. You know, it is what it is. 6 Feet Under, to me, is the only one that I've never heard anyone complain about. I think everybody universally says that 6 Feet Under was probably the greatest ending. They ended it the best way that any show is. Maybe MASH, I know people like MASH ending, but they ended the show the best way it could ever be ended. You know, maybe I'll get on here with Phil and we'll talk about the greatest endings on television history and the worst endings. The greatest, maybe we'll do that next week. I'll ask him if he wants to do it, and we'll go through it. And all our top 5 greatest endings and our top 5 worst endings. And that was it. You know, yeah. Watch yours. The last season, you knew in the last season of The Wire, the last season was when they did the serial killer McNulty, that it would jump the shark. That's what ruined it right there. That whole storyline was just so ridiculous that it was just done. You know what I mean? It just took away from everything that they built from that show. They shouldn't have never did that storyline at all. It was just bad. I understand why they wanted to do the journalists and move over into that stuff, but because they already showed the streets and they showed the politicians and all that, but they wanted to go into the papers and everything else. And so I understand what they were thinking, but it was just executed terribly. Yeah, so I could talk about shows and endings for days and everything else. Listen, let's go. Let's put it because your New Blood ending was much better than we got. So you're right, it was, and I ain't gonna lie about it. If they would have did the ending that I told them to do, then that ending, then it would have been one of the greatest endings of all time, and not because I made it up. It truly would have been because you would have gave all. Like I said, Batista didn't even sniff Dexter. Dexter never got confronted by anybody in Miami for the crimes he did. And he needed to be held accountable by those people in Miami. They needed to learn about what he was. And they never did. And that is one of the reasons why the ending was terrible. I would have had Batista come there, and then I would have had, instead of him, Dexter killing that black dude who was just to do it, I would have had him strangle Batista against it. It would have been more emotionally gripping because they were such good friends. And he had such respect for him and knew that he was a good cop and everything else. You know what I mean? They could have did that easily. They brought in the billionaire just for like one episode, and that was it, and then had him go away. Why'd you even show the billionaire? There was no need to show him. They just showed him just to show him, and then he just went away. So I could have did that ending. My ending, if you ever go back, anyone watched it, my ending I made up for that. Watch that, is much better. Deadwood ending suck. Yeah, there's a lot of them that suck. I got a lot. The hardest thing to do is stick. It's like gymnastics, right? If you watch any gymnastic sports and anything else like that in gymnastics, what do they tell you? It's not the actions they're doing, it's the landing. To stick the landing. That's why it's called sticking the landing. You can do all the flips, you can do all that other stuff, and you can get all that perfect. But if you don't stick the landing, then you ruin the routine. And that's what's happening. It's hard to stick the landing. They can't get it. And here we go. T-Ville just says it right here. I just checked. Hannah did say the worms are extraterrestrial. There you go. Go look back, look at the thing. She says it on the thing. Extraterrestrial worms inside a boy. I didn't make her say that or anything. She said that. And when you're saying extraterrestrial, she's not meaning alien foreign bodies. She's not meaning that. All right. She's meaning that that's what it is. Lady Stoneheart Kim, thank you for stopping by for as long as you can. I'm about to get off this thing anyway myself right now. I'm only planning on coming out here for an hour to talk with y'all. Again, this is not monetized. Just to touch base, this is always going to be my stream day and everything else. So I'll always come on here no matter what. If I can, if I can't, it's just an issue why I can't. But hopefully y'all like the trailer of the Changeling, and y'all are willing to go and support me when I do my videos for this Changeling. I'll be rocking that next week when it stops and everything else. And if you can, I understand that Invasion, it's a full season. You probably didn't watch, and jump in the second season may be hard. But at least this is a show that's starting at the same time for everybody, right? So we could all watch it together. Hopefully, if you didn't hear about it, you know what I mean? Now you know about it and everything else. Apple TV, The Changeling, starts on the 6th, you know what I mean, and everything else. He said, Tony's got to go and do an arm. What's wrong with my arms, man? You're saying that my arms are skinny or something? There's something wrong? What are we talking about? Why I gotta go do an arm workout? What's wrong with my arm? Something going on there? Something wrong? Is that what you're saying? Who's saying this? Who is this person? But yeah, in fact, actually, I am doing arm workout tomorrow. So, but I think my arms are fine. So we'll see. But they need a little work. I'm not saying they don't need work and stuff, but I think they're pretty good size, man. And everything else. Jackie C saying, "What is the Changeling?" We just well, thank you, Lady Stonehearted Kim G. I appreciate it. I care about your opinion more than any dude anyway. All right, well, let's go through it. I'll play the Changeling trailer one more time for our girl Jackie C. You know what I mean? We'll do that, and then we're gonna get out of here after. All right, but let me play it real quick. So our homegirl can watch this. All right, here we go.
You don't see, but you will.
The reason I said no to you when you first asked me out,
You want to go to dinner with me?
and the 6 times after that,
No. No.
is because I'm moving to Brazil.
Will somebody wear me to the fair?
When I got there, there was a lake there, a lagoon.
In her hair.
They told me not to go, but I didn't listen. She told me I had 3 wishes. When it falls off my wrist, those 3 wishes will come true. Do not cut it.
Emma, with me, all 3 of your wishes will come true.
Don't know why
Would you even know
there's no sun up in the sky.
if you crossed into a fairy tale?
Stormy weather.
A storm is coming. There are portals in this world that we may never know we've trespassed through.
Life is bad. Gloom and misery everywhere. Stormy weather.
I need to know where my wife is.
Just can't get myself.
People don't just disappear. Witches.
You don't see, but you will.
And that is on Apple TV. It's on Apple TV. It starts next week. I'll be covering it, and hopefully we can do some live streams for it and everything else. We'll be covering every episode. Make sure that you are subscribed to the channel and you show your brother some love. So if you like the way I do this, please thumbs up this, spread this across the realm, and of course, subscribe. And if you can, please, when you see me live streaming and film, we're talking about movies and doing all things. If you can, stop into those streams too. I truly appreciate it if you do. Trying to build the channel, man. Trying to build so we can do the stuff you want. And until next time, you know who it is. Peace and stay sexy.